but whatever did this.
I cannot enter.
All these whispers of monsters got folk gossiping and scared. It's people they should fear. Flesh and blood.
Hello, boy. Did I scare you?
No. It's just that...
Well, I won't.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists.
What do you do around here?
I listen to the news.
What can you tell?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people...
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck charm.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any.
So you have no home?
No. I mean, yes. I live on...
This city has abandoned so many of it.
I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne.
Why do you think she...
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
All these whispers of monsters got folk gossiping and scared. It's people they should fear. Flesh and
Good
blood.
evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. It's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows.
What's your
I
occupation?
take care...
What can you...
A shithole filled with maggots.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
No. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
I so love to gaze at the stars. The fog's been hiding them of late.
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Do you require medical assistance?
That's something I didn't expect to hear again.
I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with.
And is it your purpose as well, Mr. Reed? I would say it's a convenient way for gaining people's trust.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
These parts will be running completely unlocked.
You still working at this hour?
I should have offered a drink to the boy. Being cursed all.
Sabrina, tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it neither.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Welcome back to...
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too, I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But
What is bothering you then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
You still...
Should have offered a drink to the boy.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
He's just another lost orphan.
Another disgusting ghoul did it, don't you think? Lead spotted! Watch out, boys! Kill him, George. That's gonna hurt! Burn it, boys! I'll kill you!
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a toff. Die, vermin!
Best be moving on.
sir. Can't let you through.
Boots shouldn't be fighting each other.
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reed, can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything?
So,
I
goodbye. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
What can you tell me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
If you have something to say, say it. I'm getting tired of all this.
Oh, you want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as an enemy.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind.
You're right. I have never suffered from poverty. But that doesn't mean I don't fight it and its consequences.
I really doubt you ever had to fight for anything in your life, Dr. Reed.
May I ask?
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you? Have you ever...
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have...
Oh, a doctor. Born with money.
Why such hatred? Are you judging me by my...
Of course I am. Fuck, you're so blind.
You speak of strikes and class enemy.
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big company.
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe...
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men.
I'm looking for...
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Well, I'll leave... Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks?
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town?
You want to know my secret? I'm trying to earn money. And I'm Lottie Paxton, by the way.
Is it not dangerous to work here at night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble. The sad saint now provides me and my sister a bed and a roof. I don't want to lose that.
Are you homeless, Miss Paxton?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my sister.
What can you tell me about the Sad Saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton, the sad saint of the East End. He gave me shelter, and he's not always sad.
What can you tell me about this place? How are things here?
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy doctor from the city like yourself, you better watch your back, Mr. Reed.
You really think I should go back to a safer place, miss?
No, I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can. Just avoid the wet boot boys. Those bastards are...
Which?
Well, the gang.
Well, I am not someone so...
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble...
What can you tell me?
It may be a...
I'm looking for...
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum,
He was a patient of mine at the...
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a...
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
This Seymour...
Why the long face, Doctor?
It looks like we both have changed a lot. I must confess, it saddens me, Sean.
Put your faith in the Lord, Doctor. He has a plan for all of us. We may not always see it, but he does.
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Aren't you afraid of what you've become?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So saith the Lord. I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
Why return here?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me where I am needed.
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit.
Wonders never cease. Scowl.
And what of you? A vampire doctor? Meals laid out before you?
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor.
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of...
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The end.
I will not look kindly on you if you're trying to trick me.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I surrender myself to your judgment.
best be moving on.
Did you hear me? Over there!
This could be the public house Giselle Paxton mentioned. I should investigate her.
Pin it down!
Watch yourselves! There's one of them! The beast must die! It's done for him! The power of the Lord and you! serious about keeping people out. First place to look.
It's locked, all right. That doesn't work. So that's it. These wheels control the water level. Should shut properly. can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. It's locked.
These maggots have escaped the wrath of Ascalon for too long. It is time to purge the sewers of their filth.
You again. The one they call the sewer dog.
Hold your tongue, newborn, or I'll crush you like a maggot.
You've let the beast consume you.
Finally, a touch of lucidity. You shall learn to respect the laws of Ascalon. Your neck shall snap like a hair's breadth. Challenge the dictates of Ascalon! When you vanished, I'll slaughter these scalds while singing your name! Respect the laws of Ascalon! Dare challenge the dictates of Ascalon? Power you cannot comprehend! Whence you vanished, I'll slaughter these scalds while singing your name! Slow as a snail! Virgo bites to the hand that crushes all! I shall tear them apart and spill my blood to the pit.
I shall crush you. Your blood is now mine. And thine shall be a fair skull to it. Dare challenge the dictates of Ascalon? Return to your apothecary of needles. Down, stay down. Your blood is mine. I shall crush you. Down, stay down.
At least one skull escaped Fergal's wrath. The poor creature is bleeding to death. He cannot be far. How could he have made it this far? There's blood everywhere.
Safe we are, still. Drink now.
Bless you, Bridget.
This isn't the blood of a vampire, but it will quench your thirst. This is our domain, not yours. You've been warned.
Wait, I saved you from this creature. That must count for something.
Thank you. Now go. Go back to the streets and houses. There is no love lost between us, vampire. But thank you.
Sean Hampton sent me here. I believe he wanted me to find you. Who are you?
If you must know, they call me Old Bridget. And this shelter is where we live.
I'm Jonathan Reed. I'm a newborn Ekon. I'm afraid I'm not sure what's going on.
I shall not bend a knee, young Ekon. but I sense your pain. Ask, and I will afford you my attention.
Why was that creature after you?
Fergal is the blunt instrument of the Ascalon Club. His masters would see us dead or turned into slaves if they had their way.
What the hell was that thing? He wasn't an Ekon or a Scout.
They are known as Volkod, an ancient offshoot of immortals. Blood drives them, enrages them.
What of this Ascalon Club?
Vampire society's elite in the Empire. They make the rules and enforce their judgment upon us whom they see as lessers.
So is it you that Sean Hampton sent me to find?
Perhaps. The sad saint was always kind to us. He must trust you if he revealed our location.
The God of Prewan is hunting him. He is suspected of murder.
The Scars have always been hunted by humans and vampires alike. I teach them how to survive against the odds.
Sean killed a patient of mine. And that's just one of the murders he's being hunted for.
If you refer to Harriet, she is now among us and under our protection.
Harriet Jones is alive. That's it. That's the proof Sean wanted me to find. I must talk to her.
No. Harriet is not alive. But you can speak to her. I must warn you, she is fragile and may not receive you warmly.
I don't understand.
She is filled with bile and hate. Her mind is sharp as a tack, but her body is so weak. I've never seen its like before. She is resting in a room on the far right of this hideout.
Thank you. I will bear that in mind.
How is London? I've not seen beyond these walls in such a long time.
Hello, Harriet. Do you recognize me?
Yes, you were from the Pembroke Hospital. The young doctor. So full of secrets.
I have so many questions I need to ask you.
I love questions. As for the answers...
Your room. The blood. What brought you to fake your death in such a gruesome fashion?
to see if I would be mourned.
Why flee with Sean Hampton?
Oh, it's always a pleasure to see a saint fall to sin. But the coward still won't kill.
Do you take pleasure in causing so much pain and sorrow?
Nobody gave a damn about me. Not a tear shed. Poor Harriet. Always the discarded.
Why did you come here?
And why not? This is where I live now. Leave me, but...
Will you respect old Bridget?
Bridget is kind. She only needs to keep me fed and I'll be...
So you desire to stay here?
Yes, I'm with my own kind. Birds of a feather.
How do you...
I can't see. I can't move.
Have you tried to eat or...
People here tried to feed me.
Does the pain...
It is not pain I feel. It's like I can't stop feeling every inch of my body. But at the same time...
I have a question of the utmost...
Questions?
Do you remember what you did after leaving the hospital?
First, A question from me.
Very well then. What?
Are you like me? Are you also dead?
We are not dead, Harriet. Death no longer pertains to us. We are different.
I like what I am. I truly do. I relish the pain that courses through me.
I know you fled the hospital with Sean Hampton. Did you or Sean kill anyone in your flight? Anyone? Try and remember.
I will not lie. I wanted blood and I wanted revenge, and Sean pulled me from it, brought me here instead. But the shadows heard my prayers. The shadows killed that bastard.
Who was that man? The one murdered in the street?
He used to be my landlord. I lived here for many years before falling ill. Oh, he was an awful man.
You sought vengeance by your own hand, and someone...
I don't lie. I saw him near the docks, and...
Shadows?
The shadows, they heard me.
And these shadows, this presence...
It spoke only to me, and now it is silent, but it is born of hatred. And it will kill again. And it hates you, Doctor. Oh, it hates you.
What makes you say that?
It whispered your name, Dr. Reed. It wanted...
Questions about me? What did you say?
Nothing, Doctor. I said...
Have you found the answers you were looking for, young Ekon?
There is too much left unanswered.
Get to know us, spend time with us, and I may be willing to answer more questions.
For how long have you been in hiding here?
Skulls have been hiding under London since vampires first entered the city.
Where did you hide before the sewers?
We claimed ancient tunnels, forgotten caverns, catacombs. We are skulls, groveling beneath the feet of our makers.
Your diction, your words. You do not carry yourself like most skulls I've encountered.
True. I'm not like most skulls.
You were once someone else. What happened to you?
It is as sad as it is long, young Ekon, but it will remain mine.
Can I be of service to you?
We ask but one thing. Reveal to...
Why do you live here?
Live!
What are you...
From the guilt, the shame, from the hunt.
Why don't you leave the city? Hide somewhere far from the Guard of Priwen, the Ascalon Club.
We are the sewer skulls. This is our domain. We have run as far as we can, and now...
What manner of creature is Harriet? She is different from everyone else.
I really don't know. I'm not even certain she's a skull. I've no idea as to what blood made her.
What is a skull, in fact, in your honest opinion?
The progeny of a vampire, disavowed by her maker. Perhaps a fruitless branch of a noble tree. A word used to enslave us. I cannot say.
You mentioned that vampire blood has tremendous potency. You believe it to be stronger than your own?
The vampire's sweet blood. That rich, dark wine that we crave. For it made us, and it can sustain us.
I thank you for your time, madam. I must go back to Sean Hampton now.
Your kindness has been ample payment, Egon. To protect us, I'll close the access to our hideout, but you can use our shortcut to reach Mr. Hampton's shelter. Just follow the arrows.
Thank you, old Bridget.
Eternal gratitude for your protection, Master.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed. Would you like to take communion with me now?
Sean, are you eating raw flesh?
It is the sacred flesh of the mortal lamb. Our Lord's bountiful transmutation for the sustenance of his believers. Thank you, Lord. I am your most humble servant.
So, true to your word, you waited for my return.
I told you, Dr. Reed, I was a man to be trusted. Did you have words with the poor Harriet?
This shelter is the tip of the iceberg. You hide your game well, I'll give you that.
We are God's children, Dr. Reed, one and all, and he's determined to save us.
Does this place belong to you? How can you be so certain you can keep it open?
This warehouse was once property of the Dawson family, but has been bequeathed me through donation.
The Dawsons? The wealthiest family in London? Have they a clue as to what goes on here?
Not at all. The donation was made before the war. The building was run down. I never met Aloysius Dawson myself.
So you have the run of the place and no one's taken notice?
As long as we keep to ourselves, we interest no one. This is a haven, and I pray it remains so for eons to come.
What will be the result if you continue to assist both Skulls and the living?
For the last decade, that's what's been happening. And they found a better life. What's to change?
You've turned Skull now. Don't you see the danger to anyone giving you their trust?
We are all sinners, awaiting salvation. This is a simple truth, ordained by the Lord Almighty. I am a seeker of His glorious light.
You're forgetting the epidemic. Things can go south very quickly. I've seen it.
These are terrible times. Only those pure of heart shall prevail.
Harriet, Miss Jones has been behaving in a most violent manner. She's going to need special attention.
That's precisely the reason I brought...
Who is this old Bridget?
I don't know, Doctor. She rarely speaks of her past, but I know she has a long one. She's likely the oldest soul in the city.
Harriet is possessed by her hatred. You cannot let her roam free. She's dangerous.
She has joined her own kind, Doctor. Old Bridget is a saint to the younger Skulls, guiding them to salvation and peaceful existence.
I believe I've learned all I need to know. I'm certain you've killed no one, but one day I believe you'll cross the line.
Logic is a false prophet. Faith is the only path to salvation.
What do you mean?
We have been blessed with God's eternity. We are the instruments of His divine will. We shall feed the hungry forever and ever. Amen.
I haven't the luxury of being able to satisfy my hunger on staunched blood and lifeless flesh.
Give yourself over to God, Doctor. Expel your urges and kneel before the Lord in praise.
These urges. You know the hunger will never be satisfied.
I've come to embrace the everlasting craving. I have sworn to feed only upon the flesh of the dead. It is now my sacrament. Take, eat. This is my body. So saith the Lord.
My discoveries. Vampire blood would enhance your metabolism, perhaps even heal you. If what old Bridget says is true, I'll give you some of mine.
I'd rather not. It would be extremely awkward.
You have no choice, Sean. It's the only way to protect your chettle, those still amongst the living.
No, Dr. Reed. God made me this way. Who am I to disobey His will?
You believe that God's plan was for you to be abandoned at birth.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
I can't imagine God intended for you to be molested by a priest in an orphanage. Drink, friend.
No.
I said kneel and drink. Now. another corpse thrown in the streets. Someone's playing a very sick game. I know this brooch. This is my mother's. "29 Pretty Orchard Street."
You again?
Did you see what?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Because this sexist pig is one of the 4 men who blacklisted me.
Well, I'll leave you for...
Glad to see.
Did you see what happened?
No, I was
You saw nothing?
No, I told...
A woman screamed.
Of course. It was terrible.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton. Good evening.
Dr. Reed, can I be...
Did you see...
Actually, yes.
Why is it that you...
You didn't see it. He was dead before he hit the ground.
Who could have done...
Who? Well, a vampire, of course.
Goodbye. And good hunting, Mr. Throckmorton.
Welcome back to my humble shelter, Dr. Reed. Are you here to subdue me again?
No, Sean. I just came by to see how you are.
I feel all right. Why'd you ask?
Are you still feeding on corpses?
No. It's almost as though the blood you forced me to drink has provided me eternal satisfaction.
Would you let me listen to your chest, Sean?
No, Dr. Reed. You already forced me to drink your blood, and I thank you for...
It would help me greatly if you would allow me to...
I said no. I'm no subject of medical examination, and I intend only to...
Have you seen Harriet Jones since taking her...
No. She is with the sewer.
But why did she fake her own death? There was...
I just lost her for a minute that night. When I found her, she had caused mayhem across the hospital. I slapped some sense into her, and we fled before...
What happened then?
We ran here through narrow streets and backyards.
What happened?
I guess we recognized each other. As Scals, I mean. She had but one thought. To punish. To get revenge.
Farewell, Sean. Good evening, Mr.
What?
Do you have any recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter?
I still sleep over there from time to time. A sad saint still...
Is it true Sean Hampton saved your life?
Yeah. The sad saint grabbed my soggy ass and brought me back to the pit.
Were you thankful for...
Sean Hampton really acted like a saint that day. But I suppose I'm just...
Is there anything...
How dare you say so?
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Welcome back.
Have you got any recent...
It's still there, just like the turquoise...
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
You still working at this?
I think drink.
Have you heard...
I was told he caught a deadly disease but survived.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Without the wet boots keeping things straight, these parts would be running completely amok.
Spotted! Watch out! Oh, Christ!
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. It's locked. It's locked, all right.
This dead flesh needs it.
Oh. Good evening, Miss Halcroft.
I need blood, Doctor.
Do you require my...
My condition cannot be understood, but...
Well, until the day science finally...
Thank you, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Mistress...
It's here again.
I wish I could say that.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed.
Do you need any men?
Yes.
I will see. Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
Nurse Brannigan has been recently accused of neglecting her profession.
This kind of protest is nothing but elitist bullshit.
Do you really think she could be the next Elizabeth?
Believe me, Dr. Reed, a time will come when...
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die?
He was my patient. He died because...
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man.
What was the name?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
It is good to see you again.
I'm better than one might expect, Lady Ashbury. Dr. Swansea has asked me to investigate the recent disturbances in...
Really?
I discovered the most intriguing skull.
Old Bridget. Peculiar name. I've never heard of her.
Skulls of London have gone into hiding. Both mortals and immortals plot their extermination.
Yes. Skulls are the orphans of the Vampire Society. They are the shame of their genitors, a disgrace to the vampire that created them.
According to old Bridget.
How vile. Please, Jonathan, let's change the subject.
There is something ominous closing around me, Lady Ashbury. Something spies upon me from the shadows. Something cruel and wicked.
Whatever do you mean, Jonathan?
Do you suspect someone?
I don't know, Jonathan. I steer clear of vampire politics, especially whilst hunters roam the city's streets.
If Sean Hampton and Harriet were not the guilty parties, then who? I saw the bodies and the blood.
Your rebirth has not gone unnoticed, John.
Goodbye for now, my lady.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Jonathan, at last. I've been worried sick.
Don't worry, Edgar. The
Is that true?
Does the name Old
I've never heard of her. What?
No, it's just someone
By the stole, Jonathan. You've met another vampire? I would appreciate an introduction, if that's the case.
What do you know of the Ascalon Club?
Not as much as I would like.
Do you think Lady Ashbury would know of them?
Jonathan, our beloved lady is not one for social dalliances, nor the
I crossed paths with one. A terrifying creature going by the name of Fergal. He was sent by the Ascalon Club to exterminate the skulls of the East End.
By the stole, Jonathan.
I found Harriet Jones. She's much the same old...
Incredible. Well, why not bring her here?
I doubt that. She can...
Perhaps. But she could also belong to a new species.
Were there any studies made by your order?
Not that I'm aware of. I will transmit your discovery to the Brotherhood's primate. He will be delighted.
A pleasure as... Good evening.
I'm okay.
Do you need any...
I'm afraid I may, sir.
You are not a...
And you have...
I have to go now, sir.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening.
And good evening.
Do you need...
I would have been confused if anyone other than you had asked that question.
There is no shame.
Any doctors?
Goodbye, Dr.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Nice, sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
Do you need any...
Yes, indeed. But don't worry.
I have no doubt about it.
I appreciate...
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Stupid beast!
29 Pretty Orchard Street. This is it. What's in there for me? There's been a fight here.
Stay away! Oi! You listening? Over there! This one ain't burning! Oh, Christ!
Baited by leeches playing a nasty game.
I cannot enter.
misled. Or worse, we're being baited by leeches playing a nasty game.
Away with you! Your bars, friends!
The marks on this woman's neck were made by the fangs of a vampire. Only a golden watch in her pockets. Her shoes and clothes are quite worn out. This is the very flower my mother tossed on Mary's coffin.
I see you.
Right then. It's a sick game. But given no choice in the matter, I might as well win it. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Jonathan.
What was that? I won't let you escape. You're very fast, but I'll catch you. They've all been butchered. I can still sense a presence.
In the name of Christ, someone help me!
You! What have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell Scourge! son of perdition.
Vicar. Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul. Returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me, all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reed.
Mary.
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Of course. You can speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital, cemetery to cemetery, grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were, in front of me, on a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary, I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reed? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reed, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Time to go, Mother. Say hello to my son for
Mary,
me.
wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary. With time, we can learn to live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel, pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Yes, I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget, puppets for our pleasure. I've seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
Oh, so that's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head, one in particular, that of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal, not for our poisonous kiss, not even for the lies you tell yourself. No. It's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good. Abomination! Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary. Brother! Kiss me again, sweet brother. What have you done? You've spared the precious Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary. Rest in peace, monster. Give me your blood, priest. Final thoughts are just to die for.